Live. Check. Check. Live. Check, check, check. Live. Looks like mic is good. Just playing a little bit of music. It's actually a little teaser. One of the new Eldarion songs that will be coming soon. So, welcome everyone to June's monthly Q&A. I appreciate everyone coming in. George Washington, welcome. 10 Gauge, welcome. Hello. Appreciate you all being here. Mic check. Check is good. Yep. Looks good. Sounds good. All right, cool. As always, I am going to go to the community post for the questions there. I think I only got questions from ACR Protect this time around, which is fine. I'll answer those quick, and then we're here to hang out for 2 hours and shoot the breeze. So let me take care of that stuff. Let me take care of those questions quick here. And I'll say hey to anyone else that pops in, and then we'll just shoot the breeze, talk, answer questions in the chat, talk topics, whatever. So, from ACR Protect, he liked the meme. I always post a meme for the community post questions. It's a good meme. Okay, some questions. Let's see what he could do this go around. Favorite streaming service, Hulu, Netflix, Prime, etc. None of them. I don't use any of them. I still buy DVDs. Tangible. If internet goes out for an extended period of time or whatever for some reason, still got a DVD player. I prefer having physical format. That's why I collect so many CDs as well. I'm a big audiophile still too, so I buy a lot of CDs. Do some cassette tape collecting, but I'm actually selling some of that off. Mostly just CDs. So yeah, I don't use any streaming service. Well, besides whatever's free on YouTube. I'll watch free movies on YouTube when they offer them. They've had a pretty good lineup of movies actually to watch for free on YouTube lately, which is cool. So some good flicks there. Definitely worth checking out the catalog to see what's up. Deb Prepper, thanks for tuning in. Where do I get a tarp in my camo pattern? I'll answer that question here in a moment, talking about the camo stuff. Robert Ham, thanks for tuning in, brother. Rangers lead the way. Hope you're doing well. Big Saw Cat, howdy. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'm going to finish the community post questions, and then we'll just shoot the breeze, and I'll answer the questions y'all are throwing up in chat here. So, yeah, answer that one. He asks, favorite breed of dog? Man, I've grown up with all kinds of different dogs, everything from poodles and shih tzus to huskies, boxers, German shepherds. My parents have a Australian shepherd poodle mix right now. That's a really cool dog. Beautiful. I like German shepherds a lot. I like Malinois. I like huskies. I like Akitas. I like pugs. I mean, even though they're not a terribly practical dog for a lot of reasons, they're fun. They're fun. They have really fun personalities. Generally, I like a little bit bigger dog, but I like dogs of all kinds, and I have cats too. I'm just a big animal person. So those are some of my favorite dog breeds. Yes, motorcycle, dirt bike, or jet ski. I've had the most time on dirt bikes, so I would pick that. Have ridden motorcycles a little bit, and I have buddies and my brother. They have motorcycles. I've ridden a jet ski once. I like dirt bikes though. Yeah, they're good. Oh, next question. My favorite firearm of all time, dude. Why do you got to do that to me? I don't have an all-time favorite, but the FAL is definitely up there, and I own one. Right arm of the free world. I like G3s and your PTR 91. I like those. I like AKs. I like short stroke piston ARs. Like, I don't have like an all-time favorite. FAL's definitely up there though, and like bolt guns, maybe Enfield Mark IV. I love my Tika. It's really hard to pick just one. It really is. But yeah, those are some of them. So that's all the questions that he had. So appreciate you, ACR Protect. Good questions. Thanks. Coyote6, what's up, bro? Just got an just got an AK bash. Ooh, cool. Was that bullpup thing you were talking about, or just a mashup AK? Yeah, send me some deets on that. Tell me what that's about. Okay, Dead Prepper. So camouflage stuff. A tarp in my camo pattern. So right now I'm in somewhat finalizing talks for a textile printer, the main textile printer that I'm trying to work with, which is a domestic printer here in the States. And most of their materials are made here in the States. So it's been a big thing that I've been working on, is sourcing all U.S. materials and supporting U.S. domestic production, U.S. businesses, and small businesses that want a license to make products. They don't really do materials for tarps per se, but I have another company that I did order those test yardages for, that I made the mock-up ponchos for. I have a B2B discount code with them. So I'm going to talk to one of the people I know that has a small business that may be interested in making tarps specifically, and see if they want to go with that process. I'll have to do licensing and everything with them still first. But that's a backup printer. I wasn't terribly pleased with the quality of the prints. The one came out much better than the other for the two patterns I did do test prints on, for that company. So for that one, it's definitely going to be limited in what I can get printed, especially because their custom design tool uploader to upload the patterns and then print them is wonky, and they're working on it right now. That's what I've been told. But as of recent, I wasn't able to even upload some of my patterns because the file size was too big, which is kind of ridiculous. They're not even that big of files. That being said, hopefully in the future, tarps will come. If I really, yeah, I mean, I need to work with one of my associates who is really good at making that kind of product, in order to, if I need to, I can secure some custom print yardage and then send it to him, and we can do all the licensing and everything, royalties and stuff. But that's kind of the process there. But right now I'm focusing on the bulk material, so 500 denier nylon, 1000 denier nylon stuff, and potentially, hopefully, Nyko ripstop in the near future with the printer I'm trying to work with, to get everything established, the production agreements and everything with them. And then I'm going to facilitate to the companies that do want to license, a kind of facilitating the direct pipeline for them to order yardage from that printer to make soft goods products. There's several companies already on board and kind of ready to go, basically. Still need to do licensing agreements with them and everything, and negotiate percentages and stuff. So the process I'm still finalizing with the printer. That's getting very close. And then from there, it'll be a fairly quick turnaround process to work with these companies that are already on board to start ordering yardage and making products. So the process is there. I'm getting through the hardest part of the whole process right now, and it doesn't happen fast, unfortunately. But that's where we're kind of at. So tarps, I'm hoping in the near future, if just a limited run or something. But it's getting the right quality and the sourcing domestically and everything. It's getting that all lined up, and then having agreements in place and everything. So everybody makes their money, including me and everything, but also that the quality of the product is there. And I want to make sure that it's all domestic, made in America production. So that's where I'm kind of at with the process right now. It's been a grind with finding the right printer, but I think I found it, and that process is moving along right now. So I'm very excited about that, and finally getting over the biggest hill that I have to climb with everything. So after that, it should go much quicker, and we'll start seeing some products, and I'll be making announcements and posts and everything about it all the time when new stuff comes out. So Oh, Akbash. Dog. Gotcha, Coyote. Been all that AK talk in our group chat. So that's I thought you were talking about AKs, my bad. Akbash is a dog breed. So is that a mix of an Akita and something else? What is that? I'm not quite sure what that is. Big Saw Cat. All critters are good. Heck, I loved a pug, cat, and a duck. It's like a big dog. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Animals are awesome. We should be very thankful and fortunate to have them in our lives. That's for sure. Shirt of the day, Psychroptic. Kind of groovy, technical crossover metal band from Tasmania. Check them out if you haven't. The album Observant. 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 Fantastic album. My favorite of theirs. Highly recommend. Check it out. Yeah. So, yeah. Kind of to answer some of those questions there as well. That was a great question, Dead Prepper. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea on the status of things. It's been a process, but we're getting somewhere. So I'm very excited about it. And again, I've got multiple companies already on board and a couple new companies that are going to be starting. Tin Man Metal is starting a company making soft goods and stuff. And he's actually, I think we're going to work together. He's going to take my LERP rig, the Risky Recondo rig prototype that I built a couple of years ago with, talking with Krisky and stuff. I think he's going to take it and polish it up and make it into a production model product as well, apart from, picking up my camo line, which is really exciting. So that's one of them. And then Bugga Bushido is starting a company. He's a really good seamster. He's starting to make chest rigs and plate carriers and stuff. So he's getting his business stuff squared away. He's going to be one of the front runners as well because, he's a homie and he and I work together to make the FL pattern in the line of 10 patterns for Frac T. So he's definitely in there too. A couple other companies that are already on board that I'll have to finalize things with and whatever, but they're on board after lengthy talks with them, and they're great people. Tact Wrap out of Utah. They take 500 denier nylon, put adhesive on it, and it's wraps for magazines, rifles, scopes, all that stuff. And they have cutout templates. So go check out Tact Wrap. They're awesome. Swift Textile and Designs, talking with them. They make, besides like Vickers padded sling and some of those, like Swift makes some of the best slings on the market. And they make some other soft goods as well. And they're starting to expand their production. They're on board. I've talked to Citadel Defense, and he is it's looking very positive that he's going to also pick up the patterns to have the chest rigs that he makes in those for retail. I've talked to John, UW Gear. He hasn't openly said that he's interested. He's a homie though, so I mean, we'll figure something out possibly with him as well. Yeah, a couple other things going on. So I've already got a couple of companies that are ready to go. So, and then I'm talking with Lance of Weekend Gunner. He has his own printer and stuff. He makes like lightweight hoodies for like competition shooting and stuff. So there's camo pattern like up on the shoulders and the hood and stuff, and then it's kind of plain color in the torso. They're really cool, really nice hoodies. So talking with him as well for setting up some kind of agreement and working with his printer to add my patterns to his line of products as well. So go check out Weekend Gunner as well. He makes some cool stuff. Let's see. Yep, Bugga Bushido is an awesome dude. He's a homie. He and I are both, former private military contractors as well and stuff. And yeah, we've talked a lot and worked together over the past, X amount of time on things. And he's getting his business started. I'm getting mine started. It's really cool. A lot of us in our circle have started businesses within the last couple of years. And that's really cool to see. So the entrepreneurship is expanding, and that's good, and focusing on made in America. So send a pic of the Akabash in the group chats. Let me see here. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, that is adorable. Oh, so cute. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. That is a cute pupper. Very cool. I don't have screen share uh, in my live here, but I'm not going to share it anyway. But that's cute. That's a really cute dog. I love animals. They're awesome. Very cool. A little warm out for us up here anyway. Today it's about 80 degrees out, which is, yes, that is kind of warm for us. I mean, when because we're getting into summer now here finally. When it really fully hits, especially in like August. August tends to be the hottest time of the year, the hottest month of the year for us here. It will see 90s. Occasionally you'll see 100, but that's not fairly often. It's usually in the 90s though, 80s, 90s for our summer. I don't like the heat anymore, so I look forward to when that's ending and autumn and winter come around, and they stick around for a while. So keep firing away. Topics, questions, anything you got. Keep them coming. That's a cute dog. That's a cute dog, man. That's awesome. Keep them coming. Beachside in Wilmington, North Carolina. Y'all are missing out. Oh, nice. I was in North Carolina last year for work tasking, fairly close to the seaside. Some of the best seafood I've ever had in the States, actually, when I was down there. What was it called? Vale House in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Amazing seafood. Fresh oyster bar. I had grilled flounder, and then I tried some of the grilled garlic butter Parmesan cheese grilled oysters. God, those were good. Some of the best seafood I've had in the States. Absolutely. They're in the Keys. Best seafood I've ever had. Am I a folding stock FAL guy or a solid stock FAL guy? Both. I have a solid stock FAL. I have the DS Arms Bush Warrior model, 18-inch barrel, standard uh, solid stock. I really like that rifle. I do like the para folders too. I mean, I like everything FAL, so I like them both. Except super short barrel. Just it's kind of pointless for 7.62 NATO. Portable flashbanger. I know it's a vibe. Coyote and I talked about that. Same with like the HK51 and stuff. But yeah, I like them both. I like them both. I like everything FAL. So everything FAL is cool by me. Robert Ham. July and August always sucked up there where you're at. I was hated going up there for exercise, just like Fort Polk, another place that sucked. Yeah, the humidity is up just because we have so much water around. All the creeks, rivers, lakes, and I mean Great Lakes right there and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of water around. A lot of great fishing. A lot of a lot of recreational stuff to do around the water and everything. But yeah, the humidity is off the charts during this time of the year. So. George Washington, anyone know where I can order a large container of DEET? Oh, honestly, probably Amazon, I guess. There's probably some other outdoor suppliers like direct, whether it's wholesale or just retailers in general. They're out there. Uh, Look at some of like your military and surplus centric retailers. I mean, Sportsman's Guide may even have it. I'm not sure. Um, let's see. Permethrin is for your clothing. DEET is also for your clothing, but it's. I mean, in the military, we did we did apply it to like everything. So, DEET. We got the Sawyer brand permethrin is the best, but that's just for clothing. Um, there's some other stuff on the market that's actually safe to like put on your skin directly and stuff. So I would look into that. I think Sawyer is one of those brands as well that makes the filters, but they also make repellents and stuff. They would be worth looking at for that. Um, Yeah, they have one of the best skin safe ones as well. So Sawyer. Yeah. The uniforms are soaked in DEET. Yep, they were. Especially down in Georgia and stuff, man. Everything. Uh the smell is unforgettable, and everything. Probably contributes to why some dudes are, having problems and sterile, along with everything else compounded to toxic exposures and otherwise long-term exposure and use to that stuff. It's the same with CS gas, especially if you're an instructor, and that's not a primary reason, but is one of many reasons why drill instructors only do so many seasons and circuits doing that stuff. When you're around CS gas that much, it is carcinogenic and will cause cancer. Just like a number of other things. So, DEET included. And permethrin is carcinogenic. You shouldn't be spraying it around your domestic animals and things like that as well. Um, yep. Yep. Fire away. Keep firing away. You guys got some good stuff here. So. So yeah, there should be some good news coming with the camouflage stuff soon. Kind of as I detailed with some of that there. Yeah, true, Robert. You get it, because I was in earlier GWAT. It is weak. DEET is weak compared to what it was back when. Yeah, it was very strong back then. Now, some do still retail like the OG DEET with those concentration levels, but most of it is watered down now. Coyote, get on. Yep, getting a little squirrely over there. Not a lot of details, obviously, as of yet. So it's still a monitoring thing, apart from what we understand about what's going on with emergency EACs and ERPs being activated and stuff at the embassies in the region, and evacuations that are going on of non-essential personnel and ambassador families and like all that stuff. They say everyone is going to get evacuated. I mean, that's not technically true because there's going to be contingents of contractors and stuff that are going to stay behind at embassies, apart from some select State Department personnel, just like what you saw in Benghazi per se, or in Libya in general, apart from other places like that. When something like this happens, there's been a lot of flyover going on, reports out of Iraq and stuff too, with the U.S. aircraft and otherwise. So the situation is being monitored. But until more information comes out or official statements or declarations are made, it's just eyes up, keep monitoring. There's not much else that's known about it apart from the few official releases and briefs that have been put out. I guess Iran is trying to continue nuclear enrichment and built a second facility for said enrichment and construction of weapons. Again, need more information on that. There's still very little information that needs to be confirmed and expanded upon. So, but yeah, getting a little spicy over there. So, definitely something to keep an eye on. Sean Ryan just posted as well. He's in Taiwan, so he's going to be doing some interviews over there regarding that whole situation. So I'm kind of I'm very interested to see what comes of that talk and any other information that comes out of that region. So lots of stuff to keep the eyes on right now. Robert Ham, any bets on if the new DoD directive is going to be used? In regards to what, domestically or with stuff going on overseas? I mean, here it's just going to be riot control and continuation of tracking the monitoring and dealing with the various protests and situations that are happening around, expanding around the country. But overseas, I mean, this administration has already shown that they have no problem being gloves off and getting dirty. We saw the massive continuation of airstrikes and stuff against the Houthis and everything. So if something heavier were to happen, and again with more information that comes out and everything, if they decide to do those things and target Iran and any other groups and stuff, because there's a lot of supported and backed organizations and such around the region and expanding out of the region, that would be targets as well that are backed by Iran and stuff. So it's a wait and see thing. So it's been very busy monitoring wise. So I've been up very late some nights keeping track of things. Robert Ham, what's going on here with the ice centers? Yeah, no. So I mean, as of right now, contingent of National Guard and then like with the Marine Corps stuff and everything, they're just doing force protection and facilities protection. So basically under NPPD directives, National Protective Programs Directorate directives, which is what like FPS contract, which I've worked in the past and stuff. That's all that is it's a lot of force protection, emergency response, and facilities protection. So that's pretty much what they're relegated to right now. So when it comes to the detention centers and stuff, I mean, that's DHS's bag with CBP and ICE and everything. They're handling that. If they need the additional personnel to assist with processing and again facilities protection and keeping the groups of detainees under check and everything, I mean, yeah, it's very possible. I mean, there's whole military, police, and otherwise units, corrections and otherwise that specialize in that kind of thing that can assist with that. So yeah, I don't see why they couldn't be utilized potentially for that kind of thing. We're not seeing a lot of that though right now with the detention centers currently. So it's all DoD MPPD stuff, DoD and FPS NPPD directed stuff right now. So that's just kind of how that works. The FPS contract is interesting because it's a joint FPS, specifically Federal Protective Service contract, is a joint contract for under Homeland Security and with FEMA, but also DoD again for that MPPD directive, directorates and directives. So one day could be doing uniform facilities protection at FBI field office or Social Security Administration office. Next day could be at military base for a rotation, doing facilities protection alongside the MPs and stuff. Another day could be plainclothes doing low profile protective details at say an FBI facility or whatever. FPS are at basically all federal facilities, U.S. attorneys offices, ICE offices, like all that. So and that's a blend of contractors, which is the side that I was on for a time, and then federal law enforcement. So mostly DHS FPS inspectors. That is just Homeland Security, federal law enforcement. But there's some other contingents in there too, though. It just depends on where you're working and who you're working with, and what detail it is and stuff. So. County 6 Triple Can B wanted you to guard the embassy in Iraq. Yeah. But that's part of the WIPS, the Worldwide Protective Services contract, because it's OCONUS. And I worked WIPS contract too. I didn't do guarding. The very first rotation I had on WIPS contract was a little bit of guarding, but I quickly moved into an ERT team. emergency response team, kind of basically a QRF, and like cat team, counter ambush team, like kind of it's multi-role. ERTs are multi-role. Same with the PSD teams and all that stuff. But yeah, a lot of guard force, both static and mobile. A lot of force protection that company does. Yeah, it would have been good money. You would have made some really good money, but 3 month on, 1 month off rotations. So like with that month off, you can fly home, hang out, whatever you want to travel. You know, it is what it is, and then you go back for another 3 month rotation, and it's usually for the guard force, it's 12 to 16 hour shifts, rotational, and it's like 1 to 2 days on, and then like a day off or 2 days off. It just depends. You know, some of the schedules and cycles are different, just depending on where you are and what the leadership decides to do and everything, and how much personnel you have and everything. So it would have been good money though. You would have made some good money. You know, the benefits are now the benefits are really good. So I mean, way back in the day when it was still kind of not Wild West, but you know, all these companies were burgeoning. You know, in early GWAT and everything. I mean, a lot of it was cash. A lot of it was, you know, whatever. But now that corporate organization, that corporatization, you know, has taken hold very heavily. Lots of umbrella and consolidation and everything. So you get 401k, you get dental, you know, medical if you opt for it, you know, like all that stuff. And more set pay scaling based on what your job is and where you are and everything, contract you're on and all that stuff. Pay's dipped a little bit compared to what it was, but it's still very good pay. So good topics, good questions. Keep them coming. Keep firing away. This is good stuff. So again, about the camo brand stuff, I'll have some announcements coming soon as soon as things are kind of solidified and finalized with partners for securing a printer, and then starting licensing partnerships with various goods manufacturers and stuff. Music stuff. If you tuned in right at the beginning, you may have heard just a little bit of a track from my band Eldarion, our new album. It's been done for a while, but it will be coming out soon. We've been waiting on the label in Germany that we work with. I don't know what's going on with the label and the guy that runs it. They've been pretty much radio silent for like months. So we may have to shift fire and hit up another label. I'm looking at one in Finland to work with to release CDs of it and stuff. Schedule release time for it. So we're just I'm waiting to hear back from the other half of the band and stuff for that. And then Aposticum, we're finishing up edits and review of our tracking, and then sending it off to mix master, and then that process, and then after that we're getting it. That's all self-produced, and we're doing that. We're doing CDs for that as well, so that album should drop probably, I think at this rate, August, maybe early September, somewhere in there. Anointing Maelstrom just had an EP drop. Pythonism, we haven't started anything just yet, but we'll be starting some stuff soon. Same with Void Blight. Might be starting some stuff soon. Owner of Vargas Records, Justin, who's also in Void Blight with me. He's been very busy with a new job lately and everything, and kind of focusing on some releases that they've had just come out and everything. So we'll be working on some of that stuff in the future, though, and yeah, some of the other projects as well. It's just kind of when schedule permits and everything. So, and especially I'm focusing on the camo brand biz stuff right now. Not detracting from music work at all and making music with all the various projects and stuff, but it's just more substantial releases are happening right now, so that just takes more time. So much more of a waiting game on a lot of things, and then okay, I need to get some stuff done. I get that done, and then you know, wherever it is in the process after that, before or after, whatever. So yeah, some of that stuff going on too. Other questions, topics, keep firing away. These are good. Keep them coming. These are good. 35 minutes in, hour and a half to go. Drink water, hydrate. Keep them coming. Fire away. You guys have had some great questions and topics, so I enjoy shooting the breeze in the chat here with you all. So yeah, keep it coming. Robert Ham, wouldn't mind doing that type of work. Talking about, but you'd end up being told that you're too old to do it. I mean, well, FPS contract on the domestic side, especially the uniform service, there was a number of retired cops and older ex-military guys that were in it. Some of them were 60 years old. Quite a few ex-cops, former cops in that contract. When it comes to the standard uniform facilities protection side of the contract and stuff. So you could definitely do that side, especially with your background, Robert Ham. It pays okay. The overseas stuff pays a lot better, but yeah, there is a bit of there's fitness requirements and things like that for the overseas contract that you have to maintain. You have the background for it, obviously, but you need to be able to clear medical and maintain a level of fitness and stuff for the overseas contract work. Domestically, though, you have some options. You could go do Department of Energy contracts, which that's some pretty cool training and stuff that those guys get to do for DOE contractors. But yeah, FPS, you could easily get into the FPS gig if you really wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of bureaucracy and bullshit involved with it, obviously, but with that contract, but you know, if you're looking to make some pretty okay money, I mean, it's one to get into if you really want to. Alpha Charlie, yes, here for the algorithm boost to the series of tubes. What's up, bro? I'm glad you popped in. I should have some info soon about that textile printer that I was talking about. So I'll make some announcements and let you guys know what's up. So if you want to pick up a little bit of yardage when that time comes. So I think right at the beginning of July, that facility, that printer will be closed. They close for like a week, like twice a year to do in-house like cleaning and stuff, maintenance of equipment and everything. But there's still enough time beforehand. I think we'll be able to get something started. I'm waiting to hear back from them with NDA and then moving forward in with things. But they're totally on board for me facilitating companies that make goods and everything, facilitating them to contact them directly for print to order of yardage of frac T patterns. So that's good news. So just kind of waiting on the other steps and finally getting over the biggest hill with this whole process. So that's really cool. I'm excited. So keep firing away, folks. Y'all got some good stuff. So I'm here to shoot the breeze with y'all and talk about topics you bring up and answer your questions and questions about anything really. So I'm a fairly open book. But been some really good topics and stuff here. So yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. I don't want to have too much dead air here. So you want to keep have me continue jaw jacking here. You know, freaking whatever you got. You want to talk about freaking kippers, tinned herring. I don't care. I love kippers, by the way. Doesn't matter. We can talk about whatever. But yeah, keep them coming. And smoke them if you got them. There's one person, there's someone out there, and I see it with any music stuff that I do post on my channel, that I get one dislike from one person, whoever it is. I find it kind of funny, but it's like weird. You should have read my channel description, know what I'm about. If you don't like metal, there's the door. But it's always just one dislike on all the music stuff I put up. Always just one. It's funny. Anything you got, y'all. Keep firing away. Also, Saturday, 250th birthday of Boot to Ass, the U.S. Army. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. The weather might be kind of bad here, though. So if it's not bad, I'm going to go shooting, but go to the range. But if it is bad, well, I'm going to have to find something else to do. Probably just blast the Army song, put on some PT shorts, and slam back a couple of brews. Who knows? Alpha Charlie can't stay. Just wanted to pop in. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for popping in. I know you're a busy man. And to quote the fellow warrior in the garden, get off my lawn. Oh, fuck yeah. Yep. Attaboy. Hell yeah, gentlemen. Robert Hammond, you got to find something to blow off some steam. Well, yeah, I mean, it's that. But I mean, I shoot a lot as is, both through training and just proper readiness. I do a little bit of instruction too, not like some NRA certified instructor or anything, because like those certifications are laughable as well as the courses. But I do occasionally. I'll teach newcomers to firearms how to shoot, but also more advanced stuff. A little bit of that, but no, I just I shoot as much as I can. It's a zen thing for me, just like how some people work on vehicles or whatever. For me, it's like it's going to the range or drawing, painting, like that kind of stuff. Making music too a little bit, but like I've been a musician for so long. I love making music too, so it's like all that stuff. Oh. Army song is so trash. Well, I mean, it's a take on the was it the Cassians or Kaisans or whatever, Go Rolling Along is the original song, but I mean, it's okay. Could it be worse? Think about it. It could be. It could be worse. Then you had the whole Army of One phase. Like I think the OG Army song, I like the tradition behind it. I do. But it's not the best, no, but it's not the worst either. Group therapy. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. March along, sing our song, we're the army of the free. Yep. Yep. It is what it is. Oh, some people left, huh? And some people are joining. Welcome anyone new joining. All the people that left. I'll see you later. No. It's cool. I'm glad people could pop in when they can. Yeah, the be all that the be all that you can be. I'm glad they brought that back because that's definitely the best Army slogan and recruitment ads and stuff that they've ever had. They went hard. I mean, the recent stuff DoD's been putting out and everything has been pretty moto, as we used to say, very moto. So good editing. So I'll hand it to whoever they've got doing it now. They're doing a much better job than the prior couple administrations on it. So in the Army, that makes me. Yeah, it's funny because I always hear that kind of in Pauly Shore's voice too from in the Army now. The wheeze. Yeah, exactly. Just, crack open a beer and watch a movie, Stripes or there's some good Army movies, man. I mean, there's plenty of good ones. I like yeah, no wheezing the juice. Hey, Rod Striker, thanks for coming in. Yeah, crack open a beer, watch some movies, or whatever. If the weather's bad, yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna go out and do stuff. Um, you know, go to the range. I have a couple of local Army buddies. Obviously, a lot of my old unit guys are, all over the country or they're sadly gone. But you know, um, I got a couple here. Well, actually, my other the front man of Aposticum, my buddy Jake, he's also an Army vet, and then I got a couple others here in the area that I talk to on and off. See every once in a while. We usually meet up for like Veterans Day or whatever. Um, go get some burgers or something. Uh, stuff like that. But yeah, like Army birthday, yeah, it's usually just a party day. Just have some fun. No wheezing the juice. Yeah, nothing beats the movie Stripes. Stripes is a good movie. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Uh, I like a lot of the OG movies too. Old John Wayne Green Berets, fantastic movie. I do like the older World War II movies. Longest Day. Um, some of the Audie Murphy movies. Like Big Red One. And there's other great ones. Obviously, Saving Private Ryan, Thin Red Line. That one gets overlooked all the time. Great movie. Um, obviously, Black Hawk Down. Uh, there's a lot of good Army movies, Army based movies. Force 10 from Navarone, Guns from Navarone. Yes, excellent movies. Dirty Dozen. Uh, Uncommon Valor. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze and Gene Hackman. Uh, that's one of my favorite like 80s movies. That was like early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Uncommon Valor, fantastic movie. Everyone should watch that one. Um, Robert Hamm, have you yet to sit down and watch Black Hawk Down? Brings back too many bad memories. No, I get it. I mean, you were a Ranger bat from that time, man. I mean, that's yeah. I haven't seen the new Warfare movie yet. I want to, but I know that one's going to be pretty crazy. So it looks really good though. So haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Force 10, Dirty Dozen exactly. Chuck Norris Delta Force. Yeah, that one was okay. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed that, but yep. Behind Enemy Lines, great movie. I just watched that one the other day actually. Um, not Army based, but yeah, no, fantastic movie. I just watched that one the other day because Gene Hackman and I think that's the only action movie Owen Wilson's ever been in. Fantastic movie though, great movie. Really like that one. Yeah, absolutely a sick movie. I dig that one a lot. Because very very few movies surrounding Kosovo and the Yugoslav wars and stuff. So that's definitely one of them to have in your catalog. Yeah, freaking Palmetto Dissident, hey dude, thanks for tuning in. What's up? Just shooting the breeze. I answered community post questions, the few that there were. So just shooting the breeze, talking various topics and answering questions and stuff in the chat. And yeah, just hanging out with everyone for a little while. About 50 minutes in, but about an hour and 10 minutes left. So I usually go for about 2 hours and then end it right around, dinner time. So thanks for tuning in. Talking movies right now and Army birthday on Saturday and stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of great movies. I've got quite the collection. Band of Brothers series as well. I think I forgot to mention that one. I mentioned Saving Private Ryan. Man, yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Trying to think of some others. I said Thin Red Line. There's, I can't remember if Tigerland, if that's with the Army or the Marine Corps. I can't remember. I haven't seen that one in a while. That was a pretty decent movie. Other ones, Heart's War, about the World War II, like POWs. The Great Raid. That's a great movie. If you haven't seen The Great Raid, that's like a textbook military operation. That movie is based off of, rescuing POWs in World War II. I think I'm just naming movies off now at this point, but man, yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Keep firing away. Topics, questions, whatever you got. Robert Ham, when you were in Bosnia, you were tasked to go recover those pilots, but the territory was too hot and too far for us to go into. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I read up on the pilot that it's based off of. I mean, the movie is obviously very loosely based off of the pilots. Yes, Hamburger Hill, fantastic movie as well. And Platoon, come on, Platoon. Deer Hunter. Yeah, Bosnia, yeah. Wait, so my senior drill sergeant, he was 10th Special Forces Group. He was originally in the Greek military and then came over to the U.S. military, went Cav, and then Green Beret. And he was in Kosovo. They have the confirmed longest distance kill with a javelin, and it's from the Bosnia-Kosovo war. Obviously somewhat classified still, but it was it was a long shot. Coyote. Grandpa went through Tigerland. He didn't like that place. I can imagine not. Oh yeah, crazies, dude. I mean, and we just had D-Day anniversary. Just a few days ago. We're losing that generation. They will be gone fairly soon, all of them, unfortunately. But I mean, the brass fucking balls of steel on those guys to do what they did, and the fights that they had in all the theaters, just absolutely insane. I'm a big history nerd, and I love talking to the old vets, about that and hearing all the stories and just researching and stuff, and it's just wild. Those guys some tough motherfuckers, that's for sure. Steel balls. Yeah, Hamburger Hill, great one. We Were Soldiers. Come on, We Were Soldiers. Another fantastic one. God, we're just. If anyone hasn't been taking notes on all the movies we've been listing off, you're gonna have to rewatch and list them all. Write them all down. So many good movies. Something that was impossible to confirm at the time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you understand. And there was another incident where they were on an operation and their ODA medic got shot in the head. AK round ricocheted off the crown plate of his skull, and it was a closed door Purple Heart ceremony with the president. from what I was told. And president asked him where he got hit, and he said, "I got shot in the fucking head, sir." Like, just like that. I mean, to what merit that is, that story, but coming from my senior, senior drill at the time, but I would believe the story and the type of guys that those guys are. So that was another crazy story that I heard. Yeah, but yeah, the javelin thing was absolutely insane. The distance that they told us was like, oh wow, okay, I'll believe them. I'll believe them because there's, when they say, max effective range on a number of these platforms, that's ballpark, really, and it's just a number that they put out for information purposes. It's not necessarily true or accurate. It could be much farther than that. So, as we know, ground proof. Hey, Randall, thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you here. Caught your live the other night and was talking with people in the chat and stuff. That was good. Some good truth bombs there. Coyote, can't imagine being a tunnel rat, dude. That would be insane. You're not really seeing that caliber of thing, with like Ukraine and stuff right now. But I mean, even trench warfare in itself is insane. But then having to go into blindages and stuff, those underground bunkers and such. I mean, that's really the closest that we can equate to a tunnel rat, besides some of the stuff where we found tunnels, in like the cave systems in Afghanistan and some of the tunnels in Iraq and stuff. But that's still nothing compared to a tunnel rat in Vietnam. God, yeah, it's hard to imagine. That's for sure. Robert haven't been there. Yeah, right. You get it. Miss talking shop. Yeah, it's always nice when I can talk with fellow veterans and talk about all that stuff. Swag, scientific wildest ass guess. I like that. I like that. I'm using that. I've not heard that one before. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Oh shit. Scientific wild ass guess. Yes, that is accurate. Yes, that's fantastic. Oh man, that's great. Your dad was a tunnel rat during the second tour. Now, jeez. It's cool because where I live, there's actually a large Hmong population here, and a number of them were people that came over when evacuation from at the end of the Vietnam and the Secret War happened. There's a few MACV-SOG guys here in my state. One of them just had a talk not terribly long ago with the Reconnaissance podcast, Bud, that kid over there that's doing really cool stuff, documenting all the stories and getting information from the MACV-SOG guys and everything. But I've talked to a few of them here in my state, and they're awesome. One lives the town I went to high school in, the next town south. One of the MACV-SOG guys lives there, and he's got a bunch of the Hmong, actually several of the Hmong people that he helped get out live in his community, and their families, extended families and stuff. It's really cool talking to them too. Yeah, I mean, Vietnam. I mean, especially with the climate as it degraded over time, as far as support for the guys and everything, that were over there. I mean, those guys doing what they were doing over in Vietnam, fucking brass balls too. Absolutely. Charlie Rangers, that book. I'm sure some of you know that book, and if you haven't read the book Charlie Rangers, you need to read that book. It's amazing. Talking about what LERP teams did in Vietnam and stuff, and awesome information in it. A lot of stuff that you can take away, both training insight, but also just the info and the stories is just amazing. Fantastic book. It's one of my favorites about Vietnam. Is Charlie Rangers. Everyone should read it. So that's my book recommendation of the day. We were talking about a bunch of movies, and there's great movies, but yeah, that book is fantastic. Speaking of books, okay, so I am a published author as well, for people that don't know. Mostly security industry related stuff. Currently have 2 books out, and there's actually 2 more on the way. One is just about done, just waiting to finish up some graphics in it, and it's basically a field reference guide and kind of SOP style book that leadership and companies can use, but it's for line unit personnel, for uniformed security guards and officers, security officers and stuff. It's just a huge wealth of information of best practices, SOPs, TTPs, and everything, reference guide for people in the field, and to improve operational capability and just your knowledge and how to deal with various situations. You know, whether it's a bomb threat call or medical emergency or whatever it is, it's all in there. That book's coming soon, and then we're working on another book for basically a planner and reference guide with a bunch of information in it for hiking, camping, backpacking, you know, backcountry stuff, and then also a tool for search and rescue personnel and stuff. Working on that book as well right now too. So that one's getting there, probably about 75% done. We're putting some more info in it, but yeah, that one's coming along too. So there'll be 2 pretty big book releases for me coming at some point in the future as well. So Robert Ham, an old school mate of mine, he and his family were evac from Nam when Saigon fell. Yep. Right on. Love you long time. He's so horny. Full Metal Jacket, great movie. Oh, I'm sure. You know, it's interesting because, like, you know, some of the Nam guys, and the same with the World War II guys, and same with our generations, you know, through the 90s and the 2000s and onward and stuff. You know, some people don't talk about really anything. Some people don't have any problem really talking about anything. There's certain things that people won't talk about. You know, it's you know, it's all across the board. So it's it is therapeutic to an extent, and it is good if people do share. I mean, obviously, horrific things have happened to people, and you know, there's a lot that is painful to talk about, or you know, and otherwise. But it is healthy to talk about it, and guys should talk about it to whatever extent that they're comfortable, and over time, hopefully, they get more comfortable. But and it's not like, you know, in that gloating or bravado sense, like what you see with all this bullshit brovet drama or whatever. Like, you know, fuck all that, you know. But it's talking about stuff, you know, in a much different way. You guys know what I mean. Just like information, you know, just here's the info, and then, like, you know, here's my experiences. It's not, you know, some of those guys, you know, they do conflate or exaggerate certain things, and that can happen with time too, as memory changes or fades or whatever too, when talking about that kind of stuff. But um, if you stay pretty sharp, I mean, details are pretty good usually, you know. And it's the same with, like, talking to non-vet guys, you know, it's the same with them as for us, and whatever, like certain smells, you know, certain things that, you know, certain oral or audio responses, you know, just certain, some of those things that you can really just memory, you know, memory banked. Robert Ham, took you a long time to open up, especially to parents. They were speechless when you finally told them. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's especially for people that haven't been there, you know, they don't know. It's hard for them to understand that, you know. But talking about it is a good thing. So Coyote says, "You wish you were cool with the Russia that we could train with the Spitzner, the Spetsnaz would be a lot cooler than fighting." So in the past, we have trained with them. I think as recently as what was it? It was right. I think it was right before Maidan and stuff in Ukraine in 2014. We did some tunnel and subterranean training with Spetsnaz and did some other stuff. And there was paratrooper cross training. Some Russian paratrooper units, VDV and Spetsnaz, came here for paratroop training, and we went there for training. Some of our units did. So for a time there, we were training together and such. And I've met some very cool Russians in the private sector side, and some of the private sector equipment that we use. Some of the companies and like even the UN and stuff. They have Russian helicopters, so you need people who know how to maintain them. A lot of the time, it's former Eastern Bloc guys, Eastern European guys and Russians. Very interesting characters, man. They'll drink you under the table too. But it's unfortunate the climate that it is right now, but people in administrations and leadership are making the decisions that they are, whether it is or isn't with the support of the people as a whole, and unfortunately, that's tainting relationships. So, could that change in the future? Sure. Could it get worse? Sure. Could we hope that it gets better? Yeah. But just got to be realistic about it, at least for the time being. But I digress. It has happened in the past, so it would be very interesting to be able to have that pipeline to have those experiences again and stuff for our guys and stuff. Yeah, but in private sector, you run into Russians, Belarusians, Georgians, Bulgarians, Romanians, all the former Eastern Bloc, and like all that. You run into those guys on here and there and stuff. One of the security companies that's still in Iraq right now for the European sector is a Czech company, and they've got a whole mix of guys too, so they do some good work. Robert, still remember those smells? Yeah. Yep. Certain smells. Yep. Trained Saddam's upper echelon at Benning. That was way back in the day. Yeah. Well, that was what the like Iran-Iraq war time period, right? Before the first Gulf War. Well, and then after, as the GWAT went on, moving forward, 30, 40 years, moving on to where we are now, now we have had, Iraqi units come to the States to train, especially like Golden Swords and some of those guys. But we do a lot of training with them in country, but some of them do come here. And I mean, a little while back, we had Saudi Air Force guys in my area, because I live right near an air base. And there's a couple other larger air bases a little further away, but they came here for training. Ran into a couple of them at a Culver's, which is an excellent burger joint here, burger chain. It's in a couple other states now too, butter burgers. But ran into some of them in a Culver's because they can eat beef and stuff, obviously. So getting their burger on. But yeah, ran into some of them. So a bunch of those guys, a bunch of those units come here to train. And I mean, when I was in the Army, at the leg end of my time I was part of TRADOC and Movement Center for Excellence and stuff, and doing some of that. So there was some coalition cross training going on. So got to train with the Brits and the Germans and a bunch of them too and stuff, both at Benning and then going and training with them. So that was really cool too. So Coyote, we should adopt the PKM. Dude, PKM is awesome. Once you shoot one, like, you get it. It's lighter than a 240. I love the 240 though too. Don't get me wrong, and that thing is a workhorse compared to the SAW. It's a workhorse. The HK version of the SAW is way better than the FN version, in my opinion. But PKMs are awesome, dude. Absolutely. I mean, open bolt system. They're simple, so are 240s. But PKs are awesome, dude. I loved running PKs and shooting the PK and stuff. Those are awesome. Trying to talk my buddy Hunter, the SOT. I'm trying to talk him into getting was it the M98 or whatever? It's the Yugo PKM. Trying to talk him into getting one of them to have fun with. So, fortunately, because I'm not on Whip's contract or anything anymore, haven't been for a little while, a couple of years now, but so I haven't gotten to shoot a PKM in like 4 or 5 years now, unfortunately. Yeah. So like 4 or 5 years. Closer to 5, but yeah. Saw if it was well maintained, it would mostly work. It I don't know what your experience was like in Somalia or whatever with it. And I'm sure it ran fine like in Kosovo and stuff, but we had a lot of problems with the saws in Iraq. And ours were, I was in third herd, third ID and stuff. We maintained our stuff, especially in third brigade combat team. But I don't know. The moon dust and the sand combination, whatever it was in Iraq, they did not run nearly as well as 240s, or AKs or PKs or anything. So proud Gooner. Thanks for tuning in. Nice beard. Thank you. Appreciate it. I just trimmed it. Especially during the hot weather, your face can get a little miserable in these conditions. So sometimes you just gotta do a little maintenance on it. Subbed. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate you. You any topics of discussion or questions that you got? Throw them in the chat. I'll answer them. I already answered community post questions and everything, so just been shooting the breeze with everyone, and great discussions here. A lot of topics all over the place getting talked about. So Robert Ham just started out as a 60 gunner. The pig. M60s are cool, dude. The new, is it the E6 variants, like the super modernized variants, the E6s? Those are cool, dude. Started 60 gunner, got to the saw, love at first sight. Well, yeah, I mean, it's lighter than an M60, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm glad yours ran for you because ours did not run nearly as well. Our saws did not run nearly as well. Overseas, you just had to dump freaking motor oil and CLP in them. It was bad. Yeah, Gunnar, saw the plane crash that happened today in India. Yeah, you're off on a plane next week. Well, hopefully you're not flying India Air. not to dark humor is accepted around here, but hopefully it's not Indian Air. Where are you located, PG? Where are you located? Yeah, did see the crash. I think so far the figures are 276 people dead between on the plane and on the ground because it crashed. It was a fully loaded flight from India to the UK, so it was full of fuel. Supposedly there was one survivor, and then it landed. It crashed into a medical university right into the dorms building, I guess. ACR Protect, yo, thanks for tuning in. Answered your community post questions earlier, so you'll have to rewatch at some point. But thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I saw it. It was quite the fireball. I mean, that was a lot of fuel. So, Texas, hell yeah, dude. I used to live in Texas a long time ago for a few years. Flying to the UK. Oh, very cool. UK is a little spicy. Well, Ireland is very spicy right now, but UK is a little spicy right now. But I don't know what you're going over there for, but you should have a good time. So, a lot of people bash the food. I actually quite like the food in the UK. Yeah, no, you'll have a good flight. You'll have a good flight. It's the flights between the US and the UK and Europe and stuff is good pilots. Lufthansa is one of my favorite airlines to fly across. They're fantastic. Robert Ham, it was the sand that the saws didn't like. Yeah, exactly. The sand and the moon dust. proverbially. Even the fine stuff, just dusted all over. I coated everything, and then the sand was bad. You used silicone spray, and she ran like a Timex. I'm surprised I let you use a silicone spray. Yeah, we were relegated to using freaking CLP and motor oil basically for the saws. You were cooking. What were you cooking, ACR? Was it anything good? And can I have some? PG, thanks, bro. Dad has family in Manchester. Oh, cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, you'll have a good time over there then. T-bones. Ooh, steak. Steak. That's awesome. 2 days ago, I cooked tilapia and did garlic butter potatoes and stuff. Oh, fantastic. Yesterday, I was at Buddy's place, did glazed ham, and then he made this really delicious cheese, corn, and chorizo iron skillet thing. It was really good, though. Lawfully armed. Thanks for tuning in, man. Glad you could make it. Hell yeah. I'm not sure what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I'll figure it out here in a little bit. Still got 45 minutes in the live stream left. So hell yeah. Glad you guys can make it and come in. Hell yeah. Cheers to that. It's just water, but cheers. ACR, looking forward to Whiskey Wednesday this coming week. We're going to have a good time talking about all the things. ACR, just me and the boys. Steak and potatoes. Hell yeah. That's the way to go. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it. I just did a live stream with TMT Tactical Muffin Top on his channel a couple weeks ago, talking about like mostly the camo stuff, but we talked about some other stuff too. The camo brand and everything. So, proud Gooner, if you don't know, I own a camouflage brand called Fractal Spectral Camouflage Systems. Just getting onto the market now. I just started the company, the business back in February, March. I got it off the ground. Copyright, trademark, all that. T's and I's crossed and dotted and everything all formal. So now I'm securing textile printer. And it's looking pretty good right now with that. And then start working with various soft goods companies and other product manufacturers and stuff. And they're going to, license with me and get the camo patterns and material and make products with them. So I'm very excited. So it's moving along. I'm getting over the biggest hill I have to right now with everything. So, but yeah, look forward to next week. It's going to be a good talk. So keep firing away with topics, questions, everything you got. Again, shirt and band of the day is Psychroptic, grooving technical death metal band out of Tasmania. Their album Observant is fantastic. Ooh, ACR, shrimp or crawfish? Yes. Come on. Both. Come on. Favorite cut of beef? Ooh. I actually like New York strip quite a bit. New York strip is probably my favorite cut. But, I mean, who doesn't love brisket? If you don't like brisket, fuck you. Brisket's awesome. Yeah, I like T-bone. I like ribeye. Like, it's all good, dude. It's meat. Come on. But New York strip is one of my favorites as far as a steak cut goes. Shrimp or crawfish, just, yeah, I eat it all. Yeah. There's very little that I don't like food wise. A lot of people are very picky. I'm nowadays I am not picky. I mean, obviously I have to eat gluten-free stuff, not by choice. It's toxic exposure injury related stuff. I have a video of that on my channel that I talk about that. But otherwise, yeah, I freaking eat just about anything, man. Robert Ham, you were on RDR's Rumble stream last Friday night, and he asked about your stories overseas. You enjoyed it? Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad you can talk about it, man, and share the stories. I mean, it's. I love it. You know, I like hearing them too, and you know, there's a lot of I can relate to it, obviously, and you know everything. Yeah, it's good. It's great. That's awesome, dude. ACR doing New York Strip Saturday. Oh yes, proper for the Army birthday. 250 years of boot to ass. That's a good choice. That's a good damn choice for a meal on a Saturday, especially that Saturday. It's beef, exactly. Beef, food. Lawfully armed. Emery for lunch. Chipotle chicken bowl for dinner. Ooh, like from Chipotle or just Chipotle chicken bowl that you made for yourself? Because either way, delicious. Emery, what Emery did you have for lunch? Your brisket for some brisket? Absolutely. Oh, I know. I got to plan a trip to come down. I have to see a lot of people. Once I start making some more money and I can travel a little bit more, especially with the camo brand stuff and everything, and um, have a much more comfortable cushion to be able to do that. I'm planning a trip to see a bunch of people around the country. So, yeah, passing on the knowledge the way it should be. Absolutely. You got to share the craft, you know, and learned lessons and experiences. Absolutely. Yeah. Same boat. Hell yeah, man. Lawfully armed beef goulash, number 22. Ooh, very good. Chicken bowl is homebrew. Oh, very nice. Ooh, homemade. Mm. The beef goulash. I think I had the beef goulash one a long while back. And then some of my favorite ones from the menus that we had. This is a really, earlier GWAT. I actually liked the meatloaf back in the day. It was actually really good, really savory. Obviously, cheese tortellini slapped. The spaghetti and meatballs it just tasted like Chef Boyardee. That was good. The Cajun rice or the Spanish rice. You add the Tabasco because we still got the Tabasco in the MREs. Then they don't do that now, which is retarded. Add the Tabasco to it. That was fantastic. Yeah, a lot of them were good, honestly. We did have the vomlet, the veggie omelet. Everyone avoided that thing like the plague. It was disgusting. Just about everything else though was quite good. But those were some of my favorites from my menus when I was in the military. The MRE manufacturer called X MRE. They're out of Florida, U.S. made MREs. Check them out. I highly recommend their MREs. They're all fresh production. They're a little more expensive, but the ingredients are way better, and they're just really good MREs. Highly recommend X MRE. Those are delicious MREs. Robert Ham, nothing like a good steak and some 114 proof bourbon. Woo! Which bourbon? And an after dinner cigar and bourbon. More bourbon. Yeah, there you go. Which bourbon? I think my lady's got some Buffalo Trace right now. I really like Bib and Tucker. That's a good one. I have to be careful with bourbons because not all of them are technically gluten free. Most of the gluten is removed during the distilling process, but some aren't. So I have to be careful with them. But Bib and Tucker, Buffalo Trace, Angel's Envy is really good too. I think my favorite Irish whiskey is Napogue Castle, KNAPPOAG, OGUE or whatever, however that's spelled, Napogue Castle. Their 12-year Irish single malt. Oh, super good. I think my favorite scotch is probably Ardmore. Lagavulin okay. It's very smoky, which is not a bad thing, but it's very smoky. Ardmore, I really like Ardmore for scotch from Scotland. Yeah, I do vodka normally, lawfully armed. I like vodka. I normally do vodka if I'm going to go for hard liquor. Tornadoes, yo, yo, yo. Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah. One of my favorite vodkas is actually, it's a grape-based one out of California called Hanson's of Sonoma, the Meyer Lemon one. Man, is it smooth. Perun, which is a Serbian-made copper still vodka made from sugar beets. That one's really good too, actually. There's some really good potato vodkas out there too. Oh my god, why am I blanking? I am blanking on the name. It's a Polish bison grass vodka. That one's really good. Finnish vodkas like Koskenkorva, of course. A Salmiakki, which is Koskenkorva vodka, but it's salty licorice. I love salty licorice. Anyone in here who doesn't like traditional licorice, we're going to have a talk. But salty licorice, it's the Scandinavian blood in me, apparently, because I love it. It's fantastic. Let's catch up on some comments here. Robert Ham, you guys got spoiled. We had the dehydrated beef patties, pork patties, fruit cocktail, bottle of Tabasco. Yeah, we had the pork patty too. I liked the pork patty. It was all right. The meatloaf was really good, man. A lot of people didn't like the meatloaf, but I liked it. It was really good. The dehydrated beef patties. What you guys we're getting like the cold weather menus a lot or something? I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a much older menu. Same with like the was it the Four Fingers of Death or whatever, the weenies, the hot dogs. I know you guys had those in your time. That was a little bit before mine, but because I was in 05 to 08, so early GWAT. Dude, can't go wrong with Tabasco though. It should be an obligatory component in an MRE, and the fact that they removed it is ridiculous. 20 Arrows Mama Bear was on her way to pick you up from work and had a blowout in the front tire and almost flipped your truck. Oh wow, jeez. Is she okay? I hope she's okay. Damn. Sucks, man. It's that time of the year, actually, right now. I guess that should be a good PSA for people is check your tires before getting into the winter, the colder seasons and stuff. Now is the time to get new tires and check your tires and stuff, especially a lot of you people in the South. You drive your tires pretty damn bald, and you've seen some irregular weather during the winter season. Get new tires. Check to make sure they're not, dry rotting, cracked, things like that. Just check your tires. I hope Mama Bear's okay. The bourbon you have is made local, 1.5 miles away. Well, what's it called, man? Nice. Very nice. If I can get my hands on it, I will. I'll try it. Same with a bunch of my friends, like big bourbon guys. ACR, did I tell you quit drinking? You didn't. Just wanted to make sure that the rumor wasn't going around. I wouldn't believe it anyway. I wouldn't believe it anyway. No, come on. Yeah, everyone's saying hey to each other. Yeah. I'm going to reiterate and ask if Mama Bear's okay. Right, exactly. And it's thankfully I've got the one brand of gluten-free beer that I really like that I can get, and it's brewed in Belgium, imported by a UK company to the US. It's called Greens, and they make a triple. It's 8.5% by volume. That's pretty much the only beer I drink now. Sometimes I'll get their amber ale, which is like I think it's a 6.5%, a little bit lower than I like, but it's actually pretty good too. And those are both Greens brand. Those are the best gluten-free beers that I found. I've tried a bunch of other ones, even like Lakefront Brewery, which is another Wisconsin-based brewer and stuff. They have a gluten-free beer called New Grist. It's okay. It's low grade. It's just I don't like low ABV domestic piss water beers. I don't. I am a beer snob. I'll admit it. You got to give me something that's typically I'm not drinking anything under 7% ABV. It needs to have some proper flavor and horsepower to it. Robert Ham, Casey Jones Distillery. Okay, I'm going to check it out. It's not going to be a hard name to forget. Casey Jones Distillery. Cool. I'll check it out. If I can get one of the good local liquor emporiums to get it, I'll tell them to get it. So I'll try it. I know I got some buddies I know that will want to try it too. I started seeing the Horse Soldier. Is it Horse Warrior or Horse Soldier? I think it's Horse Soldier bourbon showing up, which is some of the original Horse Soldier Green Beret ODA guys from right in the beginning of Afghanistan started a distillery, and it's finally showing up. So I'm actually I haven't tried it yet, but I would like to, especially you know that whole thing. So. Robert Ham, the beer you had in Germany was 18% ABV. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Was it the champagne beer? Because there's a couple of German champagne beers that are up at that level. I have a couple of really good restaurants and bars around here that import some of that stuff. I'm big on the Belgian beers. They're proper, proper strength. There's also Kentucky brand beer. It's made in Kentucky in Lexington. Kentucky brand beer. They have a bourbon barrel aged beer that's like 19% by volume. Highly recommend checking it out. It is awesome. Robert Ham, their Total Eclipse is actually moonshine. Oh, so it's like a fortified one. Gotcha. That's cool though. Yeah, there's some Kentucky brand beer, and this goes for ACR as well. You could probably get your good local liquor store to get it. Kentucky brand beer. They have a couple of different ones. They have a stout, they have a blonde, they have a couple others, and one of their signature ones though is a bourbon barrel aged beer, and it's high ABV. Fantastic. Coyote 6, kvass, potato vodka, pierogi. I can't do kvass because it's very heavily glutinous, but potato vodka, yes. Pierogi, yes. You can't forget shashlik either. What's just meat on a stick, grilled, but shashlik as well. Come on, yeah, do it right. I have a buddy, one of my longest time friends. He's Russian Orthodox, and when we get together, we do it up Slav style a good portion of the time. Yeah, it's a good time. No, it was Kristallweisen. Okay, yep, I'm familiar. It's delicious, very nice. I like the Weiss beers, I especially German Weiss beers like that. In the range, like Francis Connor as well. Obviously, it's lower ABV, but Francis Connor is fantastic, and Hocker Shore, they're Weiss, they're blonde. Those are all really good. Yeah, yeah. I like proper ABV beers. Anything 7% and up for a beer, I'm on it. Don't apologize, ACR. The steak takes precedence. I'll say it one more time though. Kentucky brand beer. I don't know if you've ever had it before. You should be able to get it. It's brewed in Lexington, Kentucky. They have a bourbon barrel aged beer. It's just Kentucky brand beer. It's like 19% by volume. Get some. You will love it. You've had it? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, it's super good. Yeah, steak takes precedence. Yep, high ABV beer or get the fuck out. Yeah, I cannot do low ABV beer. Like even like cooking brats, because bratwurst is a staple up here. If you don't eat brats, you're wrong. If you can't get brats, I'll help you try and find some. But like with brats, yeah, okay, you can cook those in a lower ABV beer because it's really just partly for flavor. I actually like cooking brats in Heineken. That's actually a nice combination for brats. Obviously, can't really do that now, so I do the alternative with a gluten-free beer. But fantastic way to cook brats is with a beer like that. I mean, you can do it with high ABV beer, and it's gonna taste delicious because I've done that before too, with my triples and stuff. But it's kind of a waste of a triple though too. So I would rather be drinking the triple. So Casey Jones sells apple bourbon, peach bourbon, maple bourbon. Ooh, I like apple bourbon. Ooh, hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna try and get my hands on some. I appreciate the recommendation for that. That's awesome. It's good stuff. You've had it, yeah. ACR, yeah. You'll drink a 4-pack and get fucked up. Well, yeah, the Kentucky bourbon barrel aged beers are 19% by volume, dude. Torneros, yeah, she's okay. Okay, good. That's good to hear, twin. I'm glad she's okay. Beer batter chickens with IPAs. Yeah, I'm not an IPA guy. That's almost too much. Can't do IPAs. I don't. You're yeah, way too hoppy. Besides the origins of IPA being, India and the Brits and stuff back in the day, and they had to brew things a different way and all that stuff. Aside from that, it really took hold here in the U.S., and I firmly believe this is because of stoners. Their flavor palette being around bong water and everything. I'm not a fan of IPAs. If you like them, cool, whatever. World's your oyster. I'm not an IPA guy. But beer battering chickens with beer is awesome. Brining chickens overnight, and then roasting them. Oh, so good. And smoking them. Come on. Apple bourbon, you mean hooker potion? You got a point. Worth it. It's their number one seller. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on some of them. Beer butt chicken. Yeah, IPA is a hipster beer, absolutely. Some hipsters, other hipsters are okay actually. Some are okay, but yes, it's definitely a hipster beer. Beer butt chicken. Hey girl, hey. IPAs are fairly high in wheat. I mean, most standard beers are very high in wheat content because of how they're brewed. Yeah, there are gluten-free IPAs. I'm just not an IPA fan. Too hoppy. I like that more balance of flavor, like with German and Belgian beers, especially Belgian style beers. Another really good one for U.S. made Belgian style beers is Omegang Brewery. They're actually out in New York. Fantastic beers as well. Highly recommend. I got you, ACR. Yeah. American style beers like BL is nice. Okay. Gnome Gang. Gnomes. Gnome saying. Gnome saying. Okay, camera. You're gonna freak out on me. Daddy's been drinking. Daddy. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Might be able to order directly from the website. Well, that's cool. I'll see if the one good local liquor guy will get it because I'll just have him stock up on a couple of them, because like if they can get them, they should carry it. BL is typically a rice beer. Oh, okay. I'll have to look out for that one. I don't see that one around here. Some sojus are good to go. I do like soju. Some of them are good to go. Some of them aren't. Just depends on the brewer, because some of them use a mix of rice and wheat, and some of them just use rice. So, or buckwheat as well, a little bit. Buckwheat is typically gluten free, so that's usually okay. Yeah, soju is good. The white grape soju from like one of the big brands, I really like that one. That one's actually really good, and it's like 13%. So I'm not mad about that. So you're saying Bud Light? See, I didn't get the abbreviate. Bud Light is a rice beer. Yeah, that's one. That one's not gluten free though, and I wouldn't drink Bud Light anyway because it's just a shitty beer. And I mean, like other beers up here are very popular, and one of Randall's favorites, PBR. It's obviously a staple here because there's a brewery here. Blatz, Hams, Schlitz, a bunch of those, and then there's a major Miller Coors brewery in Milwaukee. Yeah, it's like a bunch of that's real popular up here for those low end watery domestics. It is gross. Yes, I agree, ACR. Life is too short to drink shitty beer. Abso-fucking-lutely. Don't drink bad beer. Drink good beer. You owe it to your taste buds and your digestive system to drink good beer. Coors Banquet is on the higher end of bad, shitty domestics, but I'll let Coors Banquet slide. Leinenkugels, it's not a major chain domestic. Leinenkugels, it's made up in Chippewa Falls. Some of their beers are very good. They're still kind of low end though. Same with like New Glarus, Spotted Cow. Another one made here. I mean, we're the mecca of beer up here, So, the only other ones that really come close to us are Colorado, New York, and then Washington and Oregon, and then Texas a bit too, with all the like craft breweries and everything. Obviously Texas has a lot of breweries too, but I mean we're still number one up here with how many we have, and all that. Leinenkugels is all right. I mean they're weaker beers. A lot of people like their summer shandy. It's basically lemonade beer. It's weird. I could never really get on board with that one. But their standard like amber ale and stuff is fine. Yeah. I like New Glarus more than Leinenkugels, as far as those beers go. But I mean, again, most of those even I don't even bother with. I like stronger beer with a lot of flavor. Delirium, Dragon's Milk, Vestmala, Ommegang. A lot of the Belgian styles is really my jam, and then some of the Germans. I like Blue Moon. That's one of the lowest end Belgian styles that I'll drink is Blue Moon. I can't drink that one anymore, unfortunately, because it's not gluten free. But again, my favorite one that I have found is gluten free is a Belgian style, is a Belgian triple. So winning. ACR. Oh God, Iowans love that Spotted Cow. Yeah, well, it's brewed here in Wisconsin. Yeah, but yeah, it's very popular in the North Midwest. It is okay. It's better than Leinenkugels in my opinion, but yeah, right. Any relation to Ham's Brewing, Robert Ham? Right. Canoe paddler. Dragon's Milk. Yeah, I do like Dragon's Milk. Can't drink it anymore, but I do like Dragon's Milk. Hams. So there's it's a signature thing in Milwaukee. It's called the Milwaukee Special. Is you take a Hams or a Blatz or a PBR or Schlitz, you put a couple dollops of Cholula hot sauce in it, make it a spicy beer, basically like a poor man's Michelada. It's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie, spicy beer is pretty good. That's the Milwaukee Special. Bloody Marys are a big thing too, obviously, and there's a whole freaking meal on top of the Bloody Mary. That's a big thing too. It is good ACR. Yeah. If you've got a Coors, if you've got, like a a lower end beer of some kind like that, or a Blatz or Schlitz or Hams, whatever, PBR. Yeah, if you've got one, pour it in a pint glass, put a couple of dollops of Cholula in there, stir it around. It's actually really good. Coyote, have champagne taste, but you're on a beer budget. No, I feel you. I feel you. I really dig the aesthetic of your posts on Instagram as well, Coyote. They're awesome. That's good stuff. You've been posting some cool stuff. I dig it. And I can get it, the aesthetic from that. I understand kind of your taste and stuff. I mean, I get it the same way, But with beer, you don't have to drink bad beer, and it won't cost you that much still. So you can find some good deals. I don't mind champagne either. Smoke them if you got them. The stronger the beer, the fewer you drink. Well, all good things in moderation. I mean, enjoy it with a good meal. Have a couple more after. You are good. You are good to go. It's a big problem across the country with people that binge drink freaking racks of bad beer, and we need to get away from that trend. It's terrible for your gut. It's just bad beer. Have some class. Be a cultured motherfucker. It's all the wife will drink. You say Bloody Mary, and she'll say yes, please, dude. Hey, I'm all for a good bloody. Come on. Especially if there's good garnishes on top. There's a couple of places around me that it's straight up. You get a slider and other stuff on top of the bloody. It's a freaking meal. It's amazing. Unfiltered bitches. Lawfully armed. See the Chinese aircraft carrier come into the West Coast. I mean, it's out in the Pacific. As long as they stay in international waters, they're well within their right to. But yeah, we're monitoring it. We're seeing what's up. The Bloody Mary was candy bacon. Oh yeah, dude, bacon anything. Come on, bacon wrapped shrimp. Come on, bacon anything. I mean, county fairs around here, they do the chocolate dip bacon. Come on, bacon anything. Actually, I am morbidly curious to try the bacon flavored soda. I've never tried it before. I kind of want to try it. I know it's like artificial smoke flavor and stuff in it, but I kind of want to try it. I don't know why. This is a morbid curiosity. 36, always down to drink cheap wine in the trenches. Well, I mean, wine's a different story. Nothing wrong with a jug handle of Rossi sangria. Come on. Wine's a different story. Mead, I'm a big mead guy. I love my mead. A bottle of mead does not cost that much. If you want to spend more, you get the Dansk Mead, the Danish imported mead. There's a bunch of meaderies in my state, and there's fantastic mead, and it does not cost much, dude. Mead goes hard. That is, as far as wines go, that's my all-time favorite, obviously, is mead. But nothing wrong with the sangria. Bacon wrap bacon. Yes. Do a center cut around a thick cut. Come on. Nauseous waffly arm. Bro. ACR making Texas Twinkies this weekend. Bacon wrapped jalapenos. Ooh, yeah. Boons. Oh. Haven't heard Boons in a long time. I like the Carlo Rossi sangria. It's pretty sweet, but it's good. Yes, mead. So my favorite, one of my favorites here is it's a northern Wisconsin, Iron River, Wisconsin. It's White Winter Winery. They have a bunch of different mead flavors, which if you order it, you can get it to you. Their sweet mead is my favorite. God, it's so good. It goes down so easy. And it's only like $11 a bottle or something like that. It really doesn't cost that much. I think it's the Chaucer's mead, which is a national distribution meadery. I think theirs is like $8 or $9 a bottle or something. Chaucer's is okay. It's a nice balance of sweet and dry. I don't mind Chaucer's, but White Winter sweet mead is awesome. The Dansk Mjød Odin Skull is my favorite mead of theirs. The Viking's Blood's really good too, but the Odin Skull, God, that's good. The Reba Mjød, the ship's mead one of theirs as well. That's one of my other favorites for Dansk Mjød as well. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's strong because it's hops fortified, so it is stronger. It's really good. 2 bottles of Viking's Blood, you're a smash. Oh yeah, dude. The Viking's Blood's got the hibiscus in it. It tastes really good. Odin Skull, Reba Mjød, and Viking's Blood in that order are my favorite Dansk Mjød meads. They're all fantastic. Well, all of them are good from Dansk Mjød, but those are my top 3 for sure. Are those fantastic? But White Winter Winery, they have a bunch of meads. I do recommend them. If you can order from their website, or you can have your liquor store distributor order them. The sweet mead's good. Their blueberry mead is pretty good. It's a little more dry, but it's good. Like all theirs are really good too. Yeah. So back to the aircraft carrier thing real quick, lawfully armed. Yeah, PACOM is monitoring, and I mean we're seeing some information on it. We're keeping an eye on them. Part of the Pacific Fleet is where it needs to be to intercept them if they need to. So I don't think there's anything aggressive per se in nature with that. They are asserting themselves, the Chinese are, by traveling in the direction that they are and such, but it's one of the few carriers they have, and there ain't much that they're going to be able to do against our fleet. So I think it's just a posturing thing, just a presence thing. So, but we're keeping an eye on it. Man, some great discussion here. Only about 10 minutes left in the live stream here. That was awesome. Great topics and questions. If you guys got anything else, you got 10 minutes left, fire away. We'll do a little rapid fire if we need to or whatever. But yeah, keep it coming. This is great. Now I'm hungry and I enjoy the alcohol discussion. ACR, all right, gang, always awesome time here. DJ, take care, chat. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, dude. You enjoy that steak, and I look forward to talking with you and Tin Man Metal on Whiskey Wednesday this coming week. It's going to be awesome. Take care, man. Lawfully armed. Oh, all right. Frack T when. I talked about this earlier, but right now I'm in the largest hill that I have to get over. In talks right now with a textile printer. So getting some things with that. Once the rest is finalized there, I can start doing licensing agreements with a couple of the goods, with the companies that make products that want to pick up the pattern, can do the licensing with them, and then I'll be facilitating getting them in touch with the printer to do direct order of yardage or print to order yardage in 500 and 1,000 denier nylons. Hopefully Nyko ripstop in the future, but no uniform manufacturers as of now. There's very few in the US, unfortunately, that aren't just doing GS supply to the government and stuff. So I haven't had any of those on board yet, but other soft goods, so chest rigs and like all that stuff, tacked wrap, sling manufacturer, and some other ones are all on board already. So I'll do the licensing with them relatively soon, hopefully, once everything's squared away with the hardest part of getting stuff done right now with the textile printer. And then off to the races, products will start coming out once they can get them ordered and start making stuff with them. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a process, but getting past the longest and hardest part of it all right now. So positive things. So that's the status update with that right now. June 14th, Army birthday. 250 years of boot to ass. I think you were alluding, Coyote, to protests possibly that are going on. Pay attention to weather, because that's going to hinder some of them. Some of it's going to be a nothing burger. Other places there you may see some demonstrations and protests. I don't think it's going to get out of hand. If it does, hopefully everybody's got their PCCs, PCIs in place and their PACE plans in place, and are ready to do what they need to do. But I think a lot of it's going to be a big nothing burger. Again, there may be some and a continuation of what's been going on, but I'm not going to let that hinder me and my enjoying the weekend and the Army birthday and Flag Day and then Father's Day is Sunday and stuff. So I think a lot of that's going to contribute to as well. Apart from the other stuff, I think that's going to contribute to not a lot happening because there's important stuff going on. But yeah, keep ear to the ground and eyes open. Just pay attention. But I think for a lot of areas, they're not gonna have stuff to worry about. So, but just stay alert. That's what I'll say about this weekend. Robert Ham, Lady Racio, yeah. Lovely Arm, have you partnered with another brand to get into SHOT Show next year? Dude, do you know how much a booth costs at SHOT Show? I don't have money for that. Just a booth alone at SHOT Show is ridiculously expensive. And then having to do hotel and everything too, it's super expensive. I'm not if I can see some decent licensing royalties come in, there may be some other expos that I may be able to get some tables at in the future. I'm focusing a lot on marketing otherwise. Obviously, I want to get to some expos and have some demos and continue to expand who partner and work with for various things and all that. And I know Luke over at Clandestine Media Group, he does amazing photos and cinematography and everything, some really high end stuff. We'll, possibly in the future do some stuff with them featuring the camo patterns, and things like that. But I mean, I'm a new company that doesn't have anyone licensed yet. I mean, that's in that process, but just getting off the ground really. So I mean, it's a process to even have capital to put towards a major expo like that and being able to pay for a booth and stuff. It's expensive there. It's very expensive there. Let's get another company to let you put some product with theirs and man their booth. Yeah, well, yeah, with some of the licensing partners for that are going to be making products with my patterns, possibly we could go in on some stuff together. That would be cool. But a lot of the companies majority of the companies that are ready to be on board are all small businesses as well. I'm sure some of them are probably going to look at doing expo booths at SHOT Show at some point. And other expos and stuff. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to work with them on that and kind of split the difference and stuff. But that's all the process. We gotta get more products. We gotta get products out first and then more marketing and everything and then build that income and that support for the businesses and licensing royalty to come in to actually have more of a capital pool. Because I mean, right now, just starting a business, you're running at a deficit. You're in the negative, in the red. So you gotta bring that back some before it's really fortuitous and manageable to be able to go do expo circuit and stuff. I've got dudes out in North Carolina that are telling me to come out there for expos as well too already too, and I need to. It's a step in another part of the process, just a little bit down the line. I got to get the other major things done first and start getting some things out and everything. So that's kind of where it is in the process. So, but definitely, I mean, in the future, I need to. It's kind of an obligatory thing for being in the industry as it is. So it's just what's feasible and what isn't. So because I mean, Frac T as a brand, because I do IP brand licensing, much like how some of the larger companies do it, and I've talked about that before. But I'm a sole proprietorship. I'm not an LLC, so everything's on me. I'm a one man show for this business for right now, and I'm keeping it as a sole proprietorship for now. So everything's on me, financially and otherwise to make things work. And that's how a lot of small businesses do start out before they do an LLC or incorporate or whatever. We'll see what happens down the line with that, but I mean that's just how it is. It's the easiest and most sensible way to operate right now. So, especially with the structure of how the brand is and everything, I do the design. I've got my patterns, license, and go from there. And like the woven fabric tags and stuff like that, like I need to set up an account with Dutchworks Printing. I think that's how I can do it with them. Otherwise, I have to order branded woven tags and send them out to the gear manufacturers as well, the ones that do require tags, brand tags to be put on them and stuff. It's like all these little expenses that add up, so apart from the marketing and everything. Trademark filing was almost $3,000. Copyright filing wasn't too bad, but that was more money, and then just all the other function promotionals. I had to get business cards, and like all that stuff. I get the website, like all that stuff, everything costs and it adds up. So it's working to manage those finances. And then finally, when we get to that point here soon, start getting a rate of return with licensing royalties, and then we can start working towards other things and all that. So, but it's a great point, lawfully, and yeah, absolutely agree. So, definitely would like to make that happen at some point here. So, that's good stuff. So, and that'll round it off for this live. Actually, that was it. That was it. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate everyone coming in and asking great questions and having great topics of discussion and shooting the breeze and everything. It was great. So I always appreciate, always enjoy doing these and appreciate talking with everyone. So, yeah, with that, we're going to close it out. So, as always, metal up. Have a fun and safe weekend. And if you can't be safe, give them hell. Metal up. We'll catch you all later. All right. Out.